الجمعة ليلة عظيمة مباركة يسن فيها الإكثار من الصلاة على سيدي ومولاي رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه من كل عمل صالح. The night of Jumu'ah, it's a blessed night, night of much barakah. The sunnah is to increase your salah upon the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام and all good deeds. Before I go to all the hadith, so just as a clarification, because I saw some people looking around. So when it comes to iqama, the Hanafi madhab, madhab al-Imam al-A'zam Abi Hanifa, is that they do it twice. So it's different. It's not, the brother wasn't mistaken. It's just that's how the Hanafi madhab does it. And we have no problem in this masjid for anything that follows the four main schools of jurisprudence in terms of when it comes to salah or any other act of worship, inshallah ta'ala. And it's all welcome. It's all of these opinions originate from scholars of extremely high caliber and merit. And if any of them were alive today, they would be by far the most listened to human being on the planet with almost no doubt at all. رحمهم الله أجمعين ونفعنا بهم. يروي الإمام البخاري والإمام مسلم كل في صحيحه عن عبد الله ابن عمرو بن العاص رضي الله عنهما قال. The hadith tonight in the collection of both Bukhari and Muslim narrated to us by Abdullah ibn Abdul As, and this is within the theme of treating your parents and relatives with excellence, where he says رضي الله عنه قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يقول جهارا غير سر. Did I heard the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام once saying something? He was saying it openly, publicly. He wasn't saying it in a small group. And this wording that he uses actually is a whole, just that. Forget about the hadith. Just the fact that he said that, the scholars of usul and hadith have taken that and they have discussed it for, there are volumes upon volumes discussing the wording. Because the fact that he said that, what it means is that a lot of other times he would say things, alayhi salatu wasalam, and it wouldn't be public. A lot of times he would say things and it wouldn't be public. It would be sir. It would be something between that person, the Prophet alayhi wasalam, and a small group of people, or is directed to a specific individual. It wasn't something that he said on a minbar or publicly. And that is, of course, huge. Understanding that there are many ahadith within the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ that were never meant to be used in a public fashion. Meaning you can't direct it to everyone. Specifically ahadith, for example, that are addressing women, not men, or men, not women, or children, not parents, or parents, not children. To take that hadith and then use it and just splash it on everybody is a problem, because you're telling someone something that they're not meant to hear to begin with. So the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ is telling our sisters the importance of obeying their husbands and doing this is not for you to use. You didn't hear that as a man. He didn't tell you that. He never shared that with you, ﷺ. He didn't give you a weapon. The hadith of birr al-walidain, you listen to them as a child, not as a parent. He does not tell you this hadith as a parent. He's telling you this hadith as a child. He'll tell you other hadith as parents. I didn't include them in this series because this series was not the series of how to treat your children. This series was how to treat your parents. So when you're listening to him speak, alayhi salatu wasalam, you hear him as a child, as a son, as a daughter, not as a parent. Be very careful with the usage of what he says, alayhi salatu wasalam. At no point in time are you allowed to take something he's saying, alayhi salatu wasalam, and use it for personal gain. That is a big problem. There's a huge issue with that. We don't use the Quran or the Sunnah for personal gain, to take something for ourselves. We use it to understand what our huquq are, what our wajibat are, what we are obligated to do, not to ask people religiously to do things for us. And that's why when he says Jaharan ghayra sirrin here, radiallahu anhu, he's actually pointing out that this was public. He stood and said this publicly. So what did he say, alayhi salatu wasalam, publicly? قال عليه الصلاة والسلام ألا إن آل بني فلان يعني فلانا, in the riwayah. I mean, they refused, the Rawi actually refused to point out who he was saying, alayhi salatu wasalam, out of adab, because what's coming next is not, the most fashionable or glamorous wording. That indeed, the family of Bani Fulan, ليسوا بأولياء. They are not my close group. They are not my closest allies. إنما وليي الله وصالح المؤمنين ولكن لهم رحم أبلها ببلالها أصلها بصلتها. So he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, indeed, the family of Bani Fulan, who he was referring to amongst his relatives, the Rawi, radiyallahu anhu, rahimahullah, refused to tell us, and thankfully he didn't, because then it would just turn into, the focus would become the family, not the teaching point, which is not, the focus here is a teaching point. That it's not based on blood that you're going to be my ally yawm al-qiyamah. It's not based on blood that you're going to be the closest person to me on the day of judgment. It's not based on blood. Waliyi, Allah, my ally, my true ally is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm the closest to Him. وصالح المؤمنين, and the most pious of the believers. What about you were teaching us about family for the last 3 weeks. It's been family, this, family, that, and then he says it's about his own family. So he continues, alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, ولكن لهم رحم, but they have blood ties with me. أبلها ببلالها. I have no idea how to explain this to you. This is a linguistic complex that is so difficult to explain, but subhanAllah, anyone who understands Arabic gets it right away. Yeah, I understand what you mean. أبلها is when you dampen a fabric. البلل is something is damp or has water on it. So أبلها ببلالها, meaning I keep it damp. He's giving us a simile, alayhi salatu wasalam. It's like his relationship with his relatives is something that has to stay moist or it will die. It's like a plant. So to keep it alive, I make sure I keep on damping it in water so it stays alive, so it doesn't die off. So I don't let it dry. I don't let it completely dry off. I keep it damp. And he didn't do all this explanation. He says, they have rahim, they have ties with me that I keep damp. I keep on dipping into water to keep it damp, and you understand what he means, alayhi salatu wasalam. That's what the Rawi explains, قال يعني يصلها بصلتها. And he keeps the ties of blood or the ties of family, he keeps it alive, doesn't cut it off. And this is what he taught, alayhi salatu wasalam. Even when the family members are not your awliya, they are not your allies. They don't actually agree with you on everything. They don't stand by you regarding everything. They don't actually follow in the same footsteps. They're actually, the closest people to you are other human beings because you agree with them on stuff. You still owe them. Bilalul Rahim. You still owe them tabulluha bi bilaliha. You have to keep it alive. Doesn't matter whether you like them or not, or they like you. Doesn't matter if they open the door when you knock on it. Doesn't matter if they pick up the phone when you call them. Doesn't matter if they're kind to you when you visit them. You keep it alive. Why? Because God told you so. Because that's what he taught, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But he was clear in this hadith. It's actually a hadith that makes it it's an important one. It's not because some people are like, my family, it's just, I can't tell you, I can't even begin to tell you what my family is like. And I don't want to hear it. Honestly, no one wants to hear it. But you have a family problem, a dynamic that's not great. Don't worry. You're not stuck with them forever. Yawm al-qiyamah, you'll be with the salih al-mu'mineen. You'll be with the good people. If you're a good person, you're walking the righteous path, you'll be with the righteous. But you owe them and tasila rahimahum bisilatiha. You owe them to keep the family ties alive. You can't cut them off. This is not an option. It never was. It never was. Some people tell, do I cut this person? No. Sheikh, I haven't even told you what the story is yet. I don't care. There's nothing you can tell me. There's not one scenario you can tell me where I can tell you completely cut it off. It doesn't matter. They're family. You have to keep it alive. I don't care what they did. No one does. Allah doesn't. You keep it alive. That's what he brought, alayhi salatu wasalam, as a unique teaching to the people of Arabia. And he stuck it into their brains, and they understood it, and they did that. And had they not done that, by the way, Islam wouldn't have gone very far. Unfortunately, we've regressed since then, and we've gone back to old habits of ruining it. But if you truly want to follow him, alayhi salatu wasalam, then you'll understand this hadith, understand the importance of it. He got upset because people were walking around saying, no, we are related to the Prophet, we are his. And he said, no, you're not. No, you're not. My awliya are not just my family. No, my awliya is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the pious Muslims, whoever they may be, those are the ones who are stuck with me. But I owe you rahim, and I will keep it alive. I'll never cut you off. But you're always welcome to join me if you actually want to. And of course, a lot of the people who were close to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, were the awliya, obviously. A lot of people close to him. But even, imagine that, his family, who were actually the most pious, he still said that, alayhi salatu wasallam. He didn't have a bad family dynamic. He didn't have people close to him who were bad. No, all of them were pious. Who are you talking? All of them. His uncles, his cousins, his children, all of them pious people. And he still said this so that you would learn it, so that I would learn it. Even if you don't like it, doesn't matter. You keep it. Tabulluha bibillah. I love that this term is beautiful, and it just you understand what he means, alayhi salatu wasalam, from listening to it. I hope that was a benefit to you, inshallah ta'ala. Before I conclude the hadith, August as a month, what I'm aiming to do, is what I'm aiming to do in August. I want to make August the outreach month in this center. meaning August, we aim to perform some outreach. And that doesn't, I know that's not me. I don't, you're going to do the outreach. That's what you're going to do. You're going to perform outreach, meaning you're going to try your best throughout the month of August not to come to the masjid alone. You're going to try and bring someone who usually doesn't come to masajid. And we're going to run, there's an event, inshallah, the social event this Saturday, inshallah, instead of the Seerah Halaqah, which I usually run, we're going to have social events on Saturdays instead, where if you have someone that it's very hard to bring them to Maghrib or Isha or Fajr on a weekday, bring them on Saturday. We'll have the announcements of the timing, inshallah, is it 7, 8 to 10? 8 to 10, inshallah ta'ala. There'll be games and sports and refreshments. You can bring someone who doesn't usually come. Now, it doesn't matter to me the age group. I prefer younger people. But if you bring an old geezer, it's fine as well. We'll get to know them and take care of them. That's no problem. But really what I'm looking for, if you have a friend who doesn't really come to masajid, it's not his thing, never got used to it. Sisters as well, obviously, are involved in this, no difference. Someone who's not used to it, make a point in August to do it. We will make a point, inshallah, of making the place welcoming. We'll make a point, inshallah, of trying to get to know them and trying to get them involved in some of the stuff that we do to open up a bit. We're getting close as a society. We're turning more and more into a cult. It's becoming more and more, it's the same people. I give a khutbah anywhere. It's the same people. I'm bored of all of you. You're bored of me. Let's get more people involved. We need more Muslim. The Muslim community is huge in London. There's a lot of people that they don't come. Why don't they come? Because we're not doing enough outreach. So I want to make August the outreach month. Like, that's the emphasis. I know the khutbahs won't be about outreach, but every khutbah I will remind people about it. And every Saturday there'll be an event after Maghrib, between Maghrib and Isha, where the focus is outreach, where it's not lectures where I sit and I tell stories. No, it'll be refreshments and games and sports, and there'll be some degree of networking and getting to know people, getting their names, seeing what we can do to help them, how we can service them, and wallahi, لَأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا وَاحِدًا. All it takes is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants hidayah through you for one human being. So if we do all of this and one person benefits, it's still worth it. If the whole center with everyone in it just does this for a month and just one person ends up coming that didn't become, it's still worth it. It's never not worth it to try and to perform hidayah and outreach. So that's what I want to share with you as my hope for this month, the month of August. So get involved, talk to the team that's here, and if you have someone come, you want to try and bring someone, talk to someone here so they can have someone ready once they come in, so someone can speak to them. So we have like a team that's ready to kind of welcome them, and we have a nice space up front, and they can inshallah get involved. So I just wanted to share that inshallah before. Then يروي الإمام والبخاري والإمام مسلم كل في صحيحه عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن العاص رضي الله عنهما قال قال النبي سمعت النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم يقول جهارا غير سر ألا إن أولياء بني فلان يعني فلانا ليسوا بأولياء ألا إن أبناء بني فلان ليسوا بأولياء إنما وليي الله وصالح المؤمنين ولكن لهم رحم أبلها ببلالها يعني يصلها بصلتها. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. سبحانك وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك إليك وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. جزاكم الله خير. بارك الله فيكم. I'm not bored of any of you, by the way. Just